It's time to break down the game from every angle.
Graham steals ahead to Debo for a throwdown. Razorbacks turning it up.
Live from Walk Ons Sports Bistro in Little Rock, here is Wess Moore and Josh Neighbors.
Glad you're with us. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good weekend, a good Saturday. Hope it gets a little better than it started this morning. We are live at Walk Ons this morning, or been here this morning, and now it's afternoon. And we're going to take a lot of calls, I'm sure. A lot of disappointment. And the Razorbacks today, defense didn't show up. That and a combination of LSU shooting lights out. I mean, they had a career performance from Will Baker. If you listened to Out of Bounds yesterday, thank you, Chris. If you listened to Out of Bounds yesterday, we had Matt Moscona from ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge. He gave us a preview of the LSU Tigers and what they do well and, you know, what they struggle at. And he gave us the players and everything, and I texted him at halftime. I was like, you forgot to tell me about your All-American, potential first-round draft pick, #1 overall pick in the NBA draft, Will Baker. And he just gave me a big laughing emoji. Will Baker, a career game, 25 points, 9 of 11 from the floor, 4 of 5 from the three-point line. The guy just had a special game. And sometimes that's the game of basketball. You said it was math, Josh. You know, sometimes it comes down to simple math.
It is.
The math shows LSU shot the ball really well today, and Arkansas dug themselves kind of like in SEC play a big hole, and they couldn't get out of it.
Yeah, great shooting by Will Baker. He deserves a ton of credit. And look, part of the game plan, it appears, for Arkansas was they'll let Will Baker have that. Now, Will Baker has shot the three ball well in the past. I think last year 35%, a little bit better than that the previous year. He also spent time at Texas too. But this year he was shooting below 30%. It's funny though, he's not the first player that's had a tough time shooting and then had a good game against Arkansas. I
South Carolina.
Mac on South Carolina.
BJ Mack.
Yeah, BJ Mack, on South Carolina had that great shooting performance, but late rotating to those threes, and a lot of credit to Baker for stepping. I mean, he stepped into those threes. He shot them confidently, and look, he's been around for a long time too, and he's been a good shooter at certain points. So you give a guy like that many shots, a veteran player like that, and he made them pay. And also, he had some nice baskets inside as well, but 17 points the first half. He hit 3 threes.
Yeah, when he hit the little turnaround jumper in the post,
yeah,
a fadeaway,
too, right?
And I'm like, okay, we'll give you that all day.
Right.
Nothing but that. And I'm like, okay, all right, you got to give me a break here. Will Baker, kudos to you. I was disappointed in the way Arkansas came out defensively. I mean, you gave up 95 points, and like I said, tip the cap. LSU shot the ball well. Part of the reason they shot the ball, they were getting open shots. Arkansas wasn't very aggressive defensively. LSU came out super aggressive defensively. Arkansas scores the first basket. It's 2-0. And then all of a sudden, LSU, the next time you look up, it's 10-2.
Right. They
went on a 10-0 run, and they never got out of that. It was just another I feel like it's
bad starts.
The 6th, 7th time we've had this show. Slow start, give up a ton of points, don't score the ball, and you get beat by 20-something.
Yeah, I mean, they LSU had the stretch where they hit 7 straight field goals, I believe was the number. And a few of those, actually 3 of them might have been Will Baker threes. But, the thing about Arkansas, West, from an offensive standpoint is that they're not built to come from behind. I texted this during the game, and also it played itself out. They don't generate good three-point attempts.
No.
They actually generate very few in general, but they don't generate good looks at the three. Sometimes they're pull-up threes, but very rarely. There was one that was kind of, I think, midway through the game where a blocker drove left and kicked it over all the way to the corner to Menefield, who missed a 3, but you don't see a lot of that. There's not a lot of dribble drive.
That was a good shot.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good 3, but there's not a lot of dribble drive, get to the corner, and there's so much pressure in Arkansas to hit those threes, not just to win games, but less to be competitive in these games because, look, they want to pound the ball inside. That's kind of the new identity of this team. They want to get the ball inside. And for them today, credit LSU on defense too, but the looks were not easy, and that's the problem is, hey, if the twos are tough twos, those are low percentage shots. You're not going to make a ton of those. And if they're hitting shots, you're in a world of trouble because if games aren't played, I know they beat Missouri in a high-scoring game, but it feels like Arkansas needs the games to look like the Kentucky game last week to win against most normal SEC teams that aren't playing the pace that that a Missouri
Do
plays.
me a favor, look up layups, what Arkansas shot on layups, because it wasn't a great percentage. That, to me, is the difference in the game. Against Missouri, they went to inside, pounded it inside, 50-something points in the paint. They got inside the paint. They shot a ton of layups, but the percentage wasn't great. 14 of 28. 14 of 28. Yeah. We're talking about basket, right at the basket, missing shot after shot. Love Layden Blocker. He's got to be able to finish better. Mm-hmm. Layden Blocker today was 2 of 6 from the field. I don't know if he took any of those 6 shots outside of the paint. I think all 6 were right there at the basket. He's got to finish a little bit, and that's part being a freshman. But Arkansas did what they wanted to, got the ball to the paint, to the rim, and missed 14 layups. Think about that. If you go, I don't know, 14 to 28, let's be, you're not going to make all 28, but let's say you make 21. 21 to 28, that's 14 more points. All of a sudden, that's a different ball game.
I like the game that Jalen Graham had today. It's going to end up being a good numbers game if you look at it. I didn't actually think he played that well, especially start off. He was hunting for it. I mean, he was really trying to force the issue, which you do need a little bit of that. But, yeah, I mean, the game plan was to get inside and get the ball inside and be aggressive. And those bigs do play well off each other. But, yeah, when it's straight up just man-on-man in the post, guys making post moves, it's not always the best for Arkansas. I'd actually bet it when they have Lawson and Graham and Mitchell especially moving the basketball around to each other. That's when they do really well in the post, not when it's just always one-on-one, because they did miss a bunch of layups today.
We'll hear from Coach Mosselman later. He did say on the postgame show, they're going to have to go inside more and go through the big guys because of that's right now the most dependable offensive weapons they have. And he was disappointed in the number of threes they took. In 13 threes. They only took 13 threes.
Took 7 in the first half.
3 of 13, 7 in the first half, 6 in the second half. He pointed out they were 4 of 6 against Missouri. They only took 6 against Missouri. And you won that game. He thought 13 was too many. And for this.
Really?
Yes. He was upset with the number of threes they took. But some of it came when they were.
But how are you going to keep up in a game like this if you're not making threes? I mean, I understand you've got a game plan, but at some point, you have to focus on generating those shots, because if you keep pounding the ball inside and a team's shooting well against you, you're going to lose the basketball game normally. Once again, Missouri is an exception because of the pace at which they play, and Arkansas did a great job attacking that. But generally speaking, if teams shoot the ball that well against you, you have to. It's math. You cannot be responding with. You can't make layups 14 of 28 and let them shoot the 3 at 52%. If you're making layups at a worse percentage than they're making threes, you're going to lose that game every time.
So no way you can win.
You can't win. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It slows the pace down and everything too, but you're going to need to make some threes if you want to win some more games.
That's the problem, though. They can't make the 3.
You can't get looks 3.
No, they're not a good three-point shooting team.
At all.
I think he's just given up on the 3 and said, guys, we can't make them. Quit shooting them.
Right. Maybe.
Let's go to our phone lines. JW starts us off again. Now it's becoming a tradition.
It is.
He's
like Bob Holt, right?
He's the Bob Holt of our show, because I think this is the 4th straight show now. It's more than a trend. It's what's happening. JW, welcome into the Gwatney Automotive postgame show. Gwatney, I should say the Gwatney Chevrolet, Gwatney Buick GMC postgame show.
Hey guys, we can talk about negatives all day long, but man, I'm going to have to disagree with you about Graham. Mark and Graham are the only scorers on this team. When nobody else was helping and LSU was getting out front, he was probably forcing it because he was doing everything. Mark had not even started scoring yet. So if maybe some other people would start helping, and Graham wouldn't have to force and do so much. But, when you get down and that you get down and you can't get back up, you got to score. And if you're the only guy scoring, he had 18 points. I think that's the reason I called. I feel like Graham's game has been hidden for a long time. I've always liked Graham. I like his old school. He's got like an old school flag to him, way he shoots and stuff and plays. And my question is what has gotten Graham to be a better scorer? What has made him so much better? And I'll hang up and listen.
Hey, JW. Hey. I was going to ask JW if he's sitting down, because I'm about to agree with JW.
You are.
Yeah, I do think Graham is an offensive threat back to the basket.
I agree.
And I'm fine with him in the post moves. He's not going to make them all, but he is a guy that I think they can rely on to throw the ball on the low block and go to work.
I thought in the early part of the game, because that's when he had his turnovers. So I believe he had 2 turnovers and an offensive foul. I think he
had over the back, I remember, on the rebound.
And his shot blocked, so he just got completely packed. So this is hard to evaluate, Wes, because this was actually honestly a game for the first half, right? He scored 12 second half points, but that was that portion of the game. I mean, it's almost hard to evaluate that as actual, as really meaningful basketball because it was not a contest. I mean, LSU came out in the first 4 minutes and essentially put the game to bed. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying when the game was kind of, in the balance at all, Graham, I love his aggression, but I think what actually helps Graham is the way Mekhi Mitchell is looking to pass the ball and move the ball to other guys and create stuff and make things happen. He's always looking to make a play, which I really appreciate about him. And also on the defensive end, too. He is working his tail off on the defensive side of things. He's not a great player, not a naturally gifted player, but boy, does he work hard. And actually, he sees the floor really, really well. So I think he's been a big aid. Once again, I'm not saying Jalen Graham played poorly, but in that vital beginning stretch of the game where LSU took the lead, there was a series of possessions that involved Jalen Graham either committing fouls or coming up empty on the offensive end of things. I like the aggression. The execution in those spots needs to be better when the game is in the stages where it's really in the balance because LSU could kind of put the thing on cruise control in the second half because Arkansas couldn't stop them.
Yeah, there were a couple of empty possessions there early.
I'm not blaming him for the loss. I don't want to think it's like I'm blaming him for the loss. I'm just saying I was not impressed early on by his play.
You can blame the defense.
The guards' defense was terrible.
And there's too many times where LSU's getting penetration. It's then recovery defense. A guy goes, stops, and helps. That means his guy is open. The rotation's late, and all of a sudden you get a wide open three, and LSU was knocking them down. It all starts with someone getting penetration for LSU and kicking. LSU had a ton of assists because they were able to get to the paint, pass it, open three, and made it. And it all starts with that breakdown on defense for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, they had a really nice day. 17 assists on 29 made baskets.
That's awesome.
That's really good.
That's very good.
And they did a great job of the rotation. Also want to mention, too, that they did have a bye week. This was their bye week. They did not play in the midweeks. They were,
a fresher team,
able to scout Arkansas, see what worked, and this is not the first time that rotating the basketball against the Razorbacks off ball screens has worked against them. It's
the game plan's out, right?
Look, I'll be honest. The cure for the common offense is the Razorbacks defense right now.
Yeah. All right, we'll take our first break. We'll take more phone calls when we come back. 661-1037, 661-1037. If you don't want to call in, you can text on that number, and we'll read the Southern Structural Solutions text line a little later. We're going to hear from Coach Musselman. We are at Walk Ons, hanging out, watching a little bit of TCU and Texas. We also got the Senior Bowl on TV. There's a lot of TVs. There's a lot of stuff on right now. So come on out. Game may be over, but we're just getting started here at Walk On. Stick around. This is the Gwatney Chevrolet, Gwatney Buick GMC postgame show.
GMC has the best team in town, and with the purchase allowances, cash back, and low rates currently available, upgrading your trade at Gwatney is a slam dunk.
Call 501-945-4444. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. Gwatney, BuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Gwatney Buick GMC next to Sam's Club in North Little Rock. With sales, service, and collision, there's no need to drive past us.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support. Places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com. Member FDIC.
Injured at the game? Don't wait. With Ortho Arkansas Saturday Sports Clinic, athletes can find out over the weekend if their injury will sideline their season. Athletes are seen by one of Ortho Arkansas's fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians and may receive x-rays, an MRI, an exam and diagnosis, and a personalized comprehensive treatment plan to get them back in action as quickly as possible. Open Saturdays from 9 to 11 a.m. at 800 Fair Park Boulevard in Midtown. Ortho for All. Ortho Arkansas.
This year, elevate your style in a Cadillac. Go from bold to bolder in a stunning Escalade. From inspiring to awe-inspiring in a sophisticated CT4 or CT5. From credible to incredible in a dynamic XT4. Visit your Central Arkansas Cadillac dealers.
Hey everyone, this is Heather Baker, president and publisher of AY Media Group here in Arkansas. We publish two of the biggest and most widely read magazines in the entire state, AY Magazine and Arkansas Money and Politics. At AY and Arkansas Money and Politics, we keep you up to date on all the news you need to know and the stories you want to hear. Visit us online at aymag.com and armoneyandpolitics.com to see for yourself. Now, more than ever, it is important to be mindful of where you get your news and support your local businesses. With AY Media Group, you get the best of both worlds.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact tractors, rated #1 in durability and owner experience, designed for easy operation, and feature performance-matched attachments. Right now, at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for $0 down, 0 APR for up to 84 months, plus save up to $300 on select equipment. Stop by River Valley Tractor or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Exciting news! RowdyHogPickleball.com has partnered with Pickleball Superstore, offering thousands of items at your fingertips. Click your way to Pickleball Paradise at RowdyHogPickleball.com and enjoy 10% off plus free shipping on orders over $50. Elevate your game with top-notch gear delivered hassle-free. Visit them online today at RowdyHogPickleball.com. Some restrictions apply.
Join the Zone each weekday for the Entertainment Report, brought to you by Bell and Sword of Conway. Find out the very latest breaking news and entertainment each day on the Zone. Justin, Wess, and Christian will dish out what the stars and celebrities have going on, and you can catch it each day. Bell and Sword has everything for the best-dressed man. From boots to suits, check them out on Facebook or Instagram. Bell and Sword at their new and larger location at 1011 Oak Street.
Where the Hogs hit the hardwood. 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ, Little Rock.
Lawson pops out, top of the key. Chandler buries a three-pointer.
That was the only three they hit in the first half.
It was Chandler Lawson.
I was like, that kind of sums things up right there. When you got Will Baker going off, and the only three for Arkansas is Chandler Lawson. It was that was wild. That was kind of crazy. Let's see here. Let's go over to, we've got a lot of people watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Don't forget, you can always watch the show. We stream it. All of our shows at The Buzz, plus the post-game show.
Yep, that's where, you can leave your comments also. We'll get to those too.
BJ says, just when you think nothing could get worse than the football season, here comes basketball. Very disappointing. I agree. Brian says, loving y'all's show. Thank you, Brian. A different Brian says, didn't expect a loss like that. I did not either. Friday, when we looked on the Bet Saracen, the early line, it was 6.5. And I was like, man, that seems like a lot. I don't know what this team is going to do. I still don't have a feel for Arkansas, but I'm tempted to take Arkansas in all those points. It went down, and it was at 4.5 this morning on Bet Saracen, so I didn't take anything. I dn't do anything on this game. I don't have any confidence on what this, not in the team itself, but just what team's going to show up, how they're going to play.
Right.
Or I would have gone the other way and taken LSU, but this team is just as likely to come out, play well, and win the game. So I stayed away from it. I did not expect a blowout like this, but then again, I'll go back to it. Who would have thought Will Baker has a career game and shoots like he does, and LSU shoots like they do. They had a phenomenal shooting game. Arkansas's defense had a lot to do with that. Lack of defense, I should say.
Yes.
But they made baskets. And sometimes we can break down a game and talk about this and that, and this set. Sometimes it's all about who shoots the ball well.
Yeah.
And LSU shot the ball well.
They generated open looks. It's almost like the South Carolina game. We talked about that one, and that was one of those where, hey, like one team was coached a lot better. The same thing happened in this game, too. LSU was able to generate a lot of really good opportunities, good looks at the basket. It was just pretty simple for them to do it. I mean, once again, I mentioned this last segment, but the cure for the common offense right now is Arkansas's defense. You can get them moving around, especially off the ball screen. We mentioned the ball screen defense. Their guards, Arkansas's guards are not big and physical guards. They do not fight well through screens. They try at times. But it stands out to me, though, Wes, when when guys are able to fight all the way through screens, the guard position to get through screens. So credit to LSU. I think that's the first thing about this game. Hey, credit to LSU for scoring 95 points. Credit to them for shooting 55 from the floor, 52 from 3 on 12 of 23, and then 89 from the line on 25 of 28. That's a spectacular shooting performance. That's awesome execution as well. That's really what LSU did today. They executed at an incredibly high level.
661-1037, 661-1037. David says LSU was a buzzsaw today. I wonder how Muss will handle practice this week since no midweek game. And if Coach Muss doesn't leave next season, how big of an overhaul will this team have? It'll be just like every year. It'll be a tremendous overhaul. There will be a lot of players that transfers coming in. He'll have a couple new freshmen. He'll have players exiting. And it'll be a completely new roster next year, just like every other year. Practice this week? It's going to be. It's going to be hard.
Okay, so we have to. I want to address the Musselman-Mitchell spat that happened. Led to it, and maybe we'll get some context here from Eric Musselman once the game is over in his post-game press conference. But it basically stemmed from either one or two plays, or maybe both. There was one play where Mitchell gets the rebound and then tries to push it forward and did not throw the ball to Menafield, who was not looking. Ended up as a turnover. And there was also another one where he rebounded the ball and, as opposed to pushing for it, looked for Mark, which ultimately slowed things down. Mark was able to go coast to coast, make the layup, cuts the lead to 12. LSU calls timeout, Wes. And then we have Mark having to say to stop Mitchell from barking at Muss, and the coaches are holding back Muss as well. And it's like, wait, who just went on the run? Did LSU go on the run in Arkansas? I believe LSU is the one who called timeout. So if you want a microcosm of the Arkansas season, in a group of plays, that's one where Arkansas did something positive, but one of Arkansas's best players in recent games is having to be separated from the coach going to the bench. And I just think that's the one difficult part about all this. Playing for Eric Musselman is hard. We know that.
No doubt. I'm
really sure playing for Eric Musselman right now is extremely challenging. Losing is not fun, and I'm sure playing for. And I'm not. Once again, he's a very successful coach, so it works for him. I'm just saying, I do feel for the players a bit because I think playing for this coach with this kind of season must be really hard for the guys. So hopefully, Wes, this week in practice, a little bit of time for a break because it's a bye week, a lot more film, a lot of recovery for these guys, and then the mindset's able to freshen up here in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I think it'll be, fraternities go through Hell Week. I think it'll be like a Hell Week is what I expect. Brian says, seems as if this team has given up. Thoughts? No, I don't think they've given up.
I just think they're bad.
Yeah.
I always don't think they're very good.
Yeah, I didn't see any give up. I mean, heck, at the end of the game, they finished the half and the end of the game on a 6-0 run, I believe.
Yeah, they just don't play very well together. And that's the thing is that their guards are not good enough on defense to keep guys out of the paint, and the guards on offense are not strong enough to create open shots for each other, and their best offense is feeding the big guys, and those guys like Mekhi Mitchell should not be your best passer. That is not something that should be happening. But it feels like from what we've watched West over the last few games, he's by far been their best passer. 4 assists today, by the way.
4 assists?
Led the team in assists. Yep. 4 assists.
A BJ says outcoached and outplayed. I can't disagree with that. Brian says Muss just missed this year with the transfers. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Yep. I think you guys are spot on today. I want to address one thing, or touch on one thing. Does anybody out there know what L. Ellis did to get in the doghouse? Last Saturday against Kentucky, he played 32 minutes and 22 seconds. Now, he had a bad turnover at the end of the game that led to a Kentucky layup.
Yeah.
That was part of that 8-0 Kentucky run. L. Ellis hasn't played since then. Did not play against Missouri. Did not play today. When you had just about everybody playing today. I guess everybody did play today except for L. Ellis. And a lot of people got a chance to play against Missouri. L. Ellis, he's not on there, right? I didn't miss it. I didn't blink and miss.
He's not.
L. Ellis is in the doghouse. Big time.
Wes, every guard on the team besides Tremont Mark at some point this year has been in the doghouse. Caleb Battle has had stretches where he has barely played or got a DNP. Menafield has had stretches where he did not play and I believe got DNPs. L. Ellis has had stretches.
Yeah.
Devo Davis has had stretches. So at some point, maybe we have to ask, like, are all of these guys, not listening to the coach and not doing what they're supposed to do? Or should the coach maybe give them a bit more leniency and say, hey, because here's the thing. If you replace Joseph Pinion's minutes today with L. Ellis's minutes, I promise you get the same result or better, right? If you put Pinion in the spot where L. Ellis, if you put L. Ellis into Pinion's shoes, Wes, I think it goes either the same or a bit better for the Razorbacks.
See, I kind of get the Missouri game because, look, you put Leighton Blocker in the starting lineup,
Totally
put Menafield over there. They played very well together. Menafield had a very productive game. I think it was 16 points against Missouri. So I get it. Today, that didn't work. Menafield didn't play well. Caleb Battle did not play well. The guards didn't play well. And so, where is he? To me, this is where you give him a shot. Have you learned a lesson? Have you learned to take care of the basketball? Can you play a little better defense? Let's see. Let's see if sitting on the bench last Saturday helped. But again, no opportunity today. So that one surprised me. I'm just wondering what in the world is going on there with L. Ellis.
But it's been a trend. I mean, we could say what in the world for all of these guys at certain points of the year. All of these guys have had stretches where they've been in the doghouse with Must, besides Tremont Mark, who's unquestionably their best guard.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, I want to hear from Eric Musselman. Maybe he was asked today what's going on with L. Ellis. I don't know. I haven't heard the post-game press conference from Coach Must, but we'll do that when we come back. This is the Gwatney Buick GMC Gwatney Chevrolet post-game show live from Walk Ons.
It's trade-in time at Gwatney Chevrolet. Kick off the new year in style and comfort with a 2024 Chevy Equinox. Yours for just $23,999 with a qualifying trade-in. Or the iconic Chevy Silverado. Snag it for under $48,000 with your trade-in. Visit GwatneyChevrolet.com or stop by and see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville to learn more. We'll see you soon. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Injured at the game? Don't wait. With Ortho Arkansas Saturday Sports Clinic, athletes can find out over the weekend if their injury will sideline their season. Athletes are seen by one of Ortho Arkansas's fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians and may receive x-rays, an MRI, an exam and diagnosis, and a personalized comprehensive treatment plan to get them back in action as quickly as possible. Open Saturdays from 9 to 11 a.m. at 800 Fair Park Boulevard in Midtown. Ortho for all. Ortho Arkansas.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support. Places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com. Member FDIC.
There is nothing better than calling the Hogs with your fellow Razorback fans. And now is the time to join the team and become a part of the Razorback Foundation. Fans can join for as little as $4.17 per month. The financial support provided by Razorback Foundation members makes a once-in-a-lifetime experience possible for more than 465 student athletes. Your gifts provide scholarships, academic support, training, and nutrition, as well as professional and personal development assistance. Being a member allows you to access season tickets, priority seating and parking, tailgating, invitations to exclusive coaches and player events, as well as 20% off at Slim Chickens in Northwest Arkansas. Your support will help the Razorbacks continue on the path of success and bring home even more SEC and national championships. Already a member? Great! You have until March 1st to renew your membership. Join by calling 479-443-9000 or visit RazorbackFoundation.com. That's 479-443-9000 or RazorbackFoundation.com. Go Hogs!
At Ark Marine, we just called in our latest flock of hunting boats. Look at these ambush boats by Legend Craft. the perfect style and function for years of successful hunts. How about letting us customize a well-built boat for particular needs? Vary any of our boats with a Tatsu outboard. All the boats at Arch Marine are rugged, and our selection and prices are unmatched in Central Arkansas. We also offer full service on ATVs. So, before you hit the deer woods, come let our certified technicians make sure you don't have any breakdowns this fall. Get in now before these deals fly away. Your granddaddy trusted Arch Marine, and so can you.
Companies are shifting their telephone systems to the cloud, and you should too. ESI eCloud PBX has everything you need. Features like work from anywhere, video calls, and advanced security tools make ESI eCloud PBX one of the best choices for any business. Opt out of the high cost of your traditional phone system and move to the cloud. Sign up for an online demo at nsgdv.com and get your system activated at no charge.
Network services through one call. It all.
Heads up, guys. Valentine's week is just around the corner. Haven't ordered your gifts yet? Get to it with Tipton & Hurst, the state's premier florist, offering guaranteed satisfaction with every order for more than 136 years. Grab your Valentine's flowers early and get rewarded with free roses later. See store for details. Buy your flowers, chocolates, and more at Tipton & Hurst stores in Little Rock, Conway, Pine Bluff, North Little Rock, or at tiptonhurst.com.
Graham's going to try to make an isolation move on Reed. He does in the lane. Jump hook, Graham, good. He's got 10.
There you go. Another good shot from Graham. Little jump hook.
Yeah. I actually do like his jump hook. It's a very effective shot.
Yeah, he is. Let's see here. A couple of comments before we go to Coach Musselman.
So somebody asked, I watched the game off and on. Was Brazil on the bench? And if so, was he focused on the game this time? What is his health status? So, Wes, I didn't see him, but you did see him on the bench.
I did see him one time on the bench during like a timeout. They stand over there, and I saw him stand up. So, his status, we don't know. I mean, it's sore knee.
I'm dubious that we see him again this season.
Really? Think he's done? He's protecting his...
I think I would piece together his quality of play plus a knee injury. I know he's been injured before, but... I think NBA teams at this point kind of know what they're going to get in terms of a prospect. And so I don't know if there's anything he can do on this Arkansas team that would make my mind change as an NBA scout about what I thought of Trevin Brazil.
Here's a question I have from Lee on Twitter. How much will UCLA pay Musselman? Look, I've always said, and that's been the word, that Musselman, if he ever left Arkansas, it might be for USC or UCLA. They can pay what they want. But I was talking with someone in the national basketball world. How attractive is Musselman going to be at the end of this year? When you have a storied program like a UCLA or a USC, would they want to hire a coach that's coming off of a below 500 season?
Mm-hmm.
Look, he was great going to 2 Elite Eights in the Sweet 16 the last 3 years, but how do you sell that to your fan base? We're getting rid of our coach who's had success and going out and hiring this guy from Arkansas that just finished below 500.
Right.
So their point being, all this Musselman talk of going somewhere else, how attractive is he going to be? Now maybe let's say a Louisville. Well, you're going to also have to sell to Louisville, even though they've been really bad.
So bad, it's like I think they would take him, but
their fans are going to be like,
UCLA they made a Final Four a couple of years ago, right? So exactly.
Cronin's had success.
Yeah, their team this year.
He's had more success at UCLA than Musselman has at Arkansas, even though Musselman's been really good here. I'm just saying he's had some good runs at UCLA.
And this bad version of Arkansas, to be honest, is better than the bad version of what UCLA. I mean, UCLA is terrible this year. They're absolutely terrible this year. But I would say this, and I want to keep reminding folks of this. I don't think we'd say enough, Wes. This is a period of time right now where Wes Muss has not had an extension since I believe 2021, right? And so I believe that's what I read the other day. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, but the idea that he wants a contract extension could be out there, and your job as an agent is to push your name as much as you can. So, how do you counteract a down season? Well, other places have some desire in my client, right?
Yeah.
Other places might want him. So I think you make a great point, but I also think this entire conversation could be about, hey, let's make sure we counteract the good with the bad from a agent standpoint.
Let's hear from Coach Musselman, get his thoughts of this game.
Eric,
I know you felt really good about the last two games, and this one obviously didn't go your way. Do you just give a lot of credit to LSU? Do you think it was you guys weren't playing well, or what do you think happened today?
Yeah, certainly have to give LSU credit, but we got to get a lot better, Bob. I mean, the defending the three has been a problem all year. It's our job as coaches to get them to execute the game plan. The game, we knew that they're a good 3-point shooting team. Baker having a career night, 9 of 11, 4 for 5. I mean, those numbers are hard to do when you're in a gym alone. So his 25 points, and then, Cook's been a starter for him. He comes in and goes 7-7 for the foul line. And, so defensively, not good. Offensively, not good. Hopefully we would be able to capitalize off our last two games. Obviously, we did not. And, disappointed that we weren't able to capitalize from what we have done the last, 80 minutes of play and not a good game for us today.
And they got off to such a hot start, Baker especially. You alluded to him. What was he doing really well? And just how tough was that to overcome when they jump on you like that on the road?
Yeah, he did everything well. He made threes. He posted up. He beat us off the dribble. I'm sure it's a career night for him. I don't have his cum stats for his career in front of me, but I would assume that's as good a game as he's played his entire career.
And then you guys have a week off now, halfway kind of. Where do you assess where the team is halfway through the league schedule? And is it a good time to get a week off and kind of try to fix some stuff?
Well, I'd certainly like to have a week off after a win. We got to get better. We got to keep coaching. We got to keep trying to improve.
Yeah, I might have a couple more. I'll turn it back to Mike if time allows. Thanks.
Anthony? Hey, Eric, noticed that Caleb didn't play in that second half. Was that a coach's decision, or was there an injury there, or what kind of happened there?
Coach's decision.
And then just kind of talking about, defensively, can you just talk about what do you feel LSU kind of did in particular that kind of got them off to that hot start, and how do you guys, I guess, kind of address that going forward?
Well, it's defending the three. It's defending the dribble drive. I mean, we're not doing either. So, if we were, we'd probably have a better record. So, it's our job to get players to improve. It's our job to get players to follow the game plan. And we've not been good defending the three all year. Can never compare teams of the past, but we're doing the same drills. We just execution come game time is not there.
Hutch, you got a question?
Yeah, Eric, you were really happy about your point guard play after the last game. I'm just curious, how would you assess that position this game?
We got a lot of areas to grow in, for sure.
Final question, Bob?
Yeah, Eric, I guess it did look like you guys were progressing. This seems like a pretty big step back. Just how frustrating is that, and kind of how do you address things now?
I mean, the only thing I know, Bob, is to go back and coach. This has been unlike, things that I've experienced. And all I know is we get in the gym on Monday and we try to get better. That's a job of any coach of any sport. And we got a lot of spots we got to get better at, a lot on both sides of the ball.
I'll squeeze in one more. You alluded to this on the pregame show. You guys had a quick turnaround, 2 road games. They had a full week. Not a real good schedule set up. Was that disappointing that the league set it up like that? And do you think that impacted the game today?
Well, seeing how we lost by the margin we did, I'm not going to comment on that. I don't want to get fined or anything, but that I alluded to it before the game because I thought that it was semi-important. I think if the game's at 3 or 5, we woke up and 7:30 wake up call, breakfast on the bus, but that's not why we lost. I mean, we lost because LSU completely outplayed us. So no way, shape, or form to, has nothing to do with the results other than the fact that it was a quick turnaround. It was much like an NBA situation where you travel, play, travel back home, day and a half, back on the plane, and then, it's not like the NBA because I've never had a late game and then turn around and played a game at 11 in the morning. I've played games at 1 or 2 or 3, but not 11 in the morning. It has nothing to do with the loss.
Sorry, let's go ahead. Last question.
Yeah, Eric, there was a moment in the first half where the broadcast caught you and Mackay kind of go back and forth a little bit. Was that just kind of a heated moment thing, or kind of what happened there?
Yeah, no, I think Kai's trying to do the right thing, and Baker was hitting threes and it's a 5-man defense. If Kai helps on the dribble drive, we need somebody else to stunt for him. So, we got to get better at that.
Thanks, Coach.
That's Eric Musselman after the game. So we got a little bit of an explanation from Coach Musselman, and it's just the frustration of the game. And I'm sure he was explaining, what was going on, because that is sometimes Arkansas plays that kind of coverage. It's called a drop coverage on the pick and roll.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll play that drop coverage that keeps the guy who receives the pick, the guard, from going freely to the basket. And sometimes you got to fight through it. Sometimes you double team it. There are just different ways of doing it. Looked like they were playing a drop coverage today.
Yes.
That's leaving
Will
Will
Baker
Baker
wide open. Yeah.
But as Coach was explaining, if you do that, somebody's got to rotate over there and help out. So
It didn't rotate at all.
No.
There was no outside
Nobody was
rotation
doing.
today.
So
Yeah.
it's a communication issue, and I'm sure Musselman was upset. He's yelling at Kai. Kai's like, I'm dropping. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. What do you want? Do you not want me to drop?
Right.
What do you want?
Yeah, I mean, the drop coverage, once again, it's not the first time it's gotten them killed. And honestly, against Missouri, too. I mean, Missouri hit a bunch of threes in the second half. So it's not like it always helped out. I think Noah Carter hit a few of those. But, I think frustrations there. You mentioned the schedule and all that, too. They did play Wednesday night. They did have to play an early game on today against a team that was on a bye. So I think that's a completely fair gripe. He is also correct, Wes, when he says it has nothing to do with the game. Will Baker has had a few games like this at Texas and also at LSU. So to be fair, this is not like Will Baker is some bum who's never done this before. If you leave a guy like that open, that's kind of his big thing. He can stretch the floor for you. So Will Baker is that kind of player. Is he like that guy night in and night out? No. He's not Nikola Jokic, right? That's not who he is.
Like it.
He looked like it tonight. He was fantastic, but. Yeah, I mean, I think Musk kind of hit it on the head with everything. And then, he mentions the KB not playing second half was a coach's decision. So, interesting there.
One little note, I looked it up. I thought, and I think it was Coach Z was on the show with us one day last week, and he said that the way that the SEC had done the schedule, like when you get a bye, they're trying to match it up where both teams have that bye, and then they play on Saturday. Well, this week, obviously today, we see it. That's not the case. Arkansas had to play this week. LSU had the bye. They're fresh. They're ready to go. This week, Arkansas's got the bye. Georgia plays Wednesday night on the road at Mississippi State.
Right.
So Arkansas gets to play the role of LSU next week when they host Georgia. Host them. Home all week. Get to prepare for one team.
Yeah.
And take on Georgia, who plays Wednesday night at Starkville, flies back home to Athens, then goes to school for one day, then gets on the plane, flies to Fayetteville. I guess that's what they, if I was Georgia's coach, I'd say, hey, we're going to do school remotely on Thursday. We're just going to go to Fayetteville and spend the day. Why go Mississippi, back to Athens, back to Fayetteville? But anyway, we'll see what they choose to do. But anyway, Arkansas will have the luxury of having the week off. So we'll see if that pays off.
Get to stew for a week.
Maybe we'll see a little trend.
Yeah.
The team that gets the week off while the other team has to play blows out the opponent.
Do you want to do some of these comments now or you want to wait?
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll read those comments. We can also take a call if you want to jump in here at 661-1037. I see Toby. Toby, hold for me. You'll come out of the break when we come back. This is the Gwatney Chevrolet, Gwatney Buick GMC postgame show live from Walk Ons.
Penny Cobb Burkhalter here, reminding you that Gwatney Buick GMC has the best team in town. And with the purchase allowances, cash back, and low rates currently available, upgrading your trade at Gwatney is a slam dunk.
Call 501-945-4444. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. Gwatney, Buick, GMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Gwatney Buick GMC next to Sam's Club in North Little Rock. With sales, service, and collision, there's no need to drive past us.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support. Places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com. Member FDIC.
Injured at the game? Don't wait. With Ortho Arkansas Saturday Sports Clinic, athletes can find out over the weekend if their injury will sideline their season. Athletes are seen by one of Ortho Arkansas's fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians and may receive x-rays, an MRI, an exam and diagnosis, and a personalized comprehensive treatment plan to get them back in action as quickly as possible. Open Saturdays from 9 to 11 a.m. at 800 Fair Park Boulevard in Midtown. Ortho for all. Ortho Arkansas.
This year, elevate your style in a Cadillac. Go from bold to bolder in a stunning Escalade. From inspiring to awe-inspiring in a sophisticated CT4 or CT5. From credible to incredible in a dynamic XT4. Visit your Central Arkansas Cadillac dealers.
Take your yard up to the next level with the Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Josh Dickinson is a former PGA Tour caddy, and his landscape designs are inspired by some of the most beautiful golf courses around the world. Call Josh at 501-794-2770 for all of your landscaping needs. Flower beds a mess? Josh's crew can give your home the curb appeal you've always wanted. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping also installs French drains, retaining walls, and they'll even take care of your irrigation maintenance needs. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Call today, 501-794-2770.
This is Pat Bradley for River City Flooring, where you can pick your payment. Get 0% interest for 12, 24, or 36 months, and River City Flooring in Maumelle is where you'll save 50% on all in-stock waterproof LVP flooring. And did you know River City Flooring carries cabinets? So stop in and let my friends at River City Flooring help you with your remodel. Kitchen, bath, living, dining, they do it all. Check out River City Flooring in Maumelle at their huge new showroom on Maumelle Boulevard just off 430.
Exciting news! RowdyHogPickleball.com has partnered with Pickleball Superstore, offering thousands of items at your fingertips. Click your way to Pickleball Paradise at RowdyHogPickleball.com and enjoy 10% off plus free shipping on orders over $50. Elevate your game with top-notch gear delivered hassle-free. Visit them online today at RowdyHogPickleball.com. Some restrictions apply.
If you lose your pet in Wood Rock, do you know where to look? Our city shelter, the Wood Rock Animal Village, houses over 200 animals, so they can't sell you over the phone if your pet is there. Please go in person to 4500 Kramer off South University next to First Tee. Strays are available for adoption after 7 days, so when you're looking to adopt, please visit the Animal Village. You'll meet all ages, breeds, and sizes, and many are already trained. Just a $90 adoption fee covers shots, neuter, and microchip at Wood Rock Animal Village.
Other end, Mark. Quick three. Left side good from Tremont. Into the front court. Tremont pulled up, hit the three-pointer. 20-point game. Welcome back. It's the Gwatney Automotive Postgame Show. Gwatney Buick GMC, Gwatney Chevrolet at Walk Ons. Glad you're with us. We got some callers. Let's run through these callers real quick. I promised Toby he'd be first up, and he is. Toby, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks guys for taking my call. Just a few comments. First of all, this whole situation talking about teams who have bye weeks having advantages over teams who do not and what have you. I think all of that is simply just to turn about a fair play. Like the comments that you made a few minutes ago. Yeah, this week Arkansas had to play a team that had a bye. The next week, guess what? Arkansas will have a bye, and then Georgia will have to play. So it's turn about a fair play, and I don't think there's any advantage or disadvantage to any particular team on that. But then secondly, I think that, and I've been listening to some of the other comments, and I've been looking at the same thing, and that is it seems as if every team, if they've been playing really bad, they always get well on Arkansas. Well, that's one reason for that. If a team has been playing awful against every other team, then when it comes to playing Arkansas, all of a sudden they're looking like gangbusters. That means that Arkansas is simply just a poor defensive team. And I know I'm not saying anything new. I heard Musk say it. I've heard y'all say it also. But you're right. Until we get better defensively, you could probably take a high school team and go out there and look like gangbusters. On Kevin Brazile and those guys, I think you're right. I think he's probably done for the season, and I think Arkansas is done for the season. All right, I'll hang up and listen. Guys.
Thank you, Toby. It's funny. I said earlier we had Matt Moscona on from ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge, and LSU had lost 3 straight games. LSU coming up it's just a horrendous stretch of teams are about to play. It's like the elite of the SEC, and they were on a 3-game losing streak. He's like, this is a must-win for LSU if you have any kind of chance, any kind of hope of doing something this season, because it can quickly fall apart. If you lose this game, you drop to 3-5, four in a row, and then you play these other 4. They could look up and be like 3-9, and on a that would be an 8-game losing streak. Right. After starting 3-1 in the SEC. So that should have told you right there, LSU needed this game. Not only were they coming off of a bye and some rest, but they look at their schedule. They see a struggling Arkansas team coming in. They're like, we have to win this game, and they played like that. They played like the team that had to have it. That was the hungrier team, and that's disappointing because Arkansas, as Musselman has said over and over, they played 80 good minutes in a row. They felt like they were turning the corner, and they looked like the team that was, I don't know, maybe tired, worn out, or full of themselves. I don't know. Or maybe they just look like who they are.
It was focused hunger, though. I mean, the execution was so good from LSU today. That's what I come back to. They knew the opponent ahead of them, and they did a great job, I thought, Wes, executing on that.
All right, let's go to Mike. He is in North Little Rock. Mike, welcome into the show.
Hey, guys. Welcome. I just getting the same thing that everybody's been saying. These guys are just not catching what Musk is teaching. I mean, we've seen the same kind of stuff with Musk ever since he's been here, and all the rest of them caught it. Somehow these guys are just not catching what Musk is trying to teach. They don't move the ball. They don't rotate the ball consistently. Game in and game out, they're not catching what he's teaching. So I don't know what else he's going to have to do.
Mike, thank you for the call. I'll say this. There were several times that I saw Musselman on the bench, and it was like, I'm not saying he's given up, but you could just see the frustration. He's just like, I'm not going to lose my stuff. I'm not going to get all upset. I'm just going to keep doing what we do. And that's what he said in the press conference. We're just going to go back to work, keep working on defense, keep teaching them the same stuff, and see if it finally gets through to them. But I feel like maybe it's Danielle. It's just like, you're killing yourself over this.
Yeah.
It's not you, it's them. They're not, you're doing, like our caller just said, he's teaching them the same thing that these other teams have picked up, learned, and had success doing. For some reason, this team isn't. So don't have a heart attack quit stressing out over there. And it seemed like a much more relaxed Musselman when they were down like 20 points than in times that I've seen.
Yeah.
Am I reading too much into his body language?
I think he kind of did the same thing over and over again. So you just kind of, I think he's internalizing it a bit different now, I believe. Southern Structural Solutions text line. There's a theory out there. So I'm not going to read that.
We're not going to read rumors.
Nope, not going to read the rumors.
People, we're better than that.
It's beyond me why a fan base. Let's see. All this must talk about him leaving with one rough season, throwaway players. No one is happy. We can be critical, but looking for a coach this quick and then questioning the loyalty and heart of the players is hypocritical. Be critical, but be loyal. I think the fan base is just frustrated. I think there's no doubt, Wes, that the struggles of football season have spilled into the frustration of basketball season.
Yes.
I think a good portion of that is fed into the rumors. And here's the problem I have is that there's just been rumors about everything.
Yeah.
Everything, right? There's everything about the players, about the coaches, about like the program, about how much NIL money there is. And I think
or isn't.
Or isn't. And I think that speaks to a general anxiety and frustration about the entire situation.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's a 1% out there that wants Musselman to leave.
Right.
I think you're never going to change their mind. I don't want Musselman to leave, and I don't know many people that want him to. The rumor is he's leaving on his own or finding another job, but those are rumors that have been out there put on Twitter by a national account. So, and I think part of it, I think you nailed it. I think a lot of it's his agent too, just to show, hey, there are people who want him. You may want to give him a raise. That's the job of the agent, to make more money for your client and for yourself, right? So let's don't get that confused. I don't think many people want Musselman out of here or get rid of Musselman.
Yeah, someone else says, I do not want to lose Eric Musselman as a coach. I hope Arkansas does their best to keep him and give him time to regroup with a new team next year. I think Arkansas fans should want him here, obviously. The worst team, if you can say that, let's see, that Muss has ever had. Never seen a Razorback team that doesn't work together like this one. Do you think it's just a total miss on the evaluation of talent? Do you think he blows this team up at the end of the season? Well, you've got certain guys that have to move on, right, because they have graduated from the program. So that's obviously their West. But also, too, I mean, a lot of folks thought this team would be good. Right? The national media thought this team would be good. They thought it was a good collection of talent. It just turns out they don't play very well together. So I think he missed, but a lot of people thought he did not. And I'll be included in that. I didn't think he missed before the season. No. Turns out he did.
Let's take a break. Our last break. We'll wrap it up. We'll take a look at what's coming up in the SEC in the SEC tonight. Early game. It's weird being the early game. It's disappointing. You know what's really disappointing? Losing and having a week off.
Yeah.
Boy, if they'd have won, been on a 2-game winning streak with Georgia coming home, have all week to talk about that, how much fun that would be. That's what's disappointing. Stick around. This is the Gwatney Chevrolet Gwatney Buick GMC postgame show.
It's trade-in time at Gwatney Chevrolet. Kick off the new year in style and comfort with a 2024 Chevy Equinox. Yours for just $23,999 with a qualifying trade-in. Or the iconic Chevy Silverado. Snag it for under $48,000 with your trade-in. Visit GwatneyChevrolet.com or stop by and see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville to learn more. We'll see you soon. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-215-2418. 800-215-2418. 800-215-2418.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support. Places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com. Member FDIC.
Injured at the game? Don't wait. With Ortho Arkansas Saturday Sports Clinic, athletes can find out over the weekend if their injury will sideline their season. Athletes are seen by one of Ortho Arkansas's fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians and may receive x-rays, an MRI, an exam and diagnosis, and a personalized comprehensive treatment plan to get them back in action as quickly as possible. Open Saturdays from 9 to 11 a.m. at 800 Fair Park Boulevard in Midtown. Ortho for all. Ortho Arkansas.
Now's your chance to be a part of the team. Join the Razorback Foundation for as little as $50 to be first in line for tickets, seating, parking, and exclusive events with coaches and players. Plus, members get 20% off at Slim Chickens in Northwest Arkansas. Your membership provides 465 Razorback student athletes with the resources they need to succeed in the classroom and in competition. Join by calling 479-443-9000 or visit RazorbackFoundation.com. As a Razorback Foundation member, you will experience a lifetime full of Razorback memories. Go Hogs!
Hey Razorback fans, it's Queen Grovey. Check out the new location of Bell & Sword in Conway. Suits, shirts, vests, also polos with Arkansas logo gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. A store within a store with Arkansas-made Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. Fantastic service with a tailor-on staff to fit you perfectly. Go to the new location, Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street, Conway, or on Facebook and Instagram.
Listen to Out of Bounds every day to hear about what's trending on social media and whether listeners agree or disagree. Engaging conversations about engaging topics. Sponsored by Arkansas-based West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock and their 1.5 million coffee farmers around the globe as they fuel Arkansans with great tasting coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA. That's 833-886-5282. Call today.
Other end, Mark. Quick three. Left side good from Tremont. Into the front court. Tremont pulled up, hit the three-pointer. 20-point game.
All right, Razorbacks fall to LSU. Disappointing game down in Baton Rouge. 95-74 your final. Another 20-point loss for Arkansas.
LSU's biggest win against Arkansas in SEC play, and I think, I'm not sure in history, but I saw it in a long time. A lot of firsts this season.
Yeah.
A lot of negative firsts.
February, 3rd? They are who they are now.
Yeah.
I think we know who they are. It's going to be a long week. Going to be a long week for the team.
Yeah.
Football, you get a bye, and it's like, we needed that. We need a little break. Get some rest. There won't be rest for this team. They'll get tomorrow off, normal Sunday. And then they're going to practice very hard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, they need that.
Let's take a look at what's going on in the SEC.
Well, the South Carolina Gamecocks just keep winning, Wes. 72-62 today as underdogs on the road at Georgia. What a week for them. They go to Tennessee and get a win. They go to Georgia and get a win. They're now 7-2 in the SEC, 19-3 overall. Vermont Paris' team has been great. Now the final, once again, LSU 95, Arkansas 74. In action right now, Missouri is up 20-15 over Vanderbilt. Coming up at 3 o'clock, it's Florida at Texas A&M on ESPN2. At 5 o'clock, great matchup here. Auburn, number 16 of the country, at Ole Miss. 5 o'clock, SEC Network. Then 2 tonight, Mississippi State and Alabama at 7:30 on the SEC Network. And the big one, 7:30 on ESPN. Number 5, Tennessee, at number 10, Kentucky at Rupp Arena. Both those teams coming off of losses.
You know what? I got nothing now. It's raining outside. It's nasty. I'm going back to the house. I think I'm just going to watch some SEC basketball.
Yeah, I'm going to lay down.
Appreciate it. That was a good show. Great job back in the studio, Chris. Thanks to all the folks at Walk Ons for having us out. Come on out to Walk Ons. I think you can get a table right now if you want to. Plenty of games on. Great food here at Walk Ons. Big thanks to Gwatney Chevrolet, Gwatney Buick, GMC. We'll be back here next Saturday as Arkansas hosts Georgia and tries to turn things around. Thank you for listening. Have a great weekend, and Josh and I will be back on the Buzz on Monday.